So you want to get into Star Trek, but you don't know where to start. You've got the original series, the animated series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery, Short Treks, Picard, and Lower Decks. So how could you watch all these? Why would you watch all these? Well, to answer that backwards question, you want to go onto Netflix. Unless you want to watch the CBS shows. Then you have to buy the CBS All Access. But why? What is this show all about? Why do people love it so much? Why are people out here dressed like that? Doing this? Having a good time? Because Star Trek showcases the good outcome in contrast to most sci-fi. Let's get to the real juicy stuff. TOS. Toast. Toasty. The original series is probably the one you know, starring Kirk, Spock, and Bones, progenitor of all the good stuff you know and love from the Star Trek fandom. With banger after banger. If you like sci-fi mystery and fun and just a little bit of camp, you'll enjoy this one. But jumping on into what most people will actually start on, TNG. Now this is the good stuff. Now, it needs to be said that season 1 is a little rough, but starting season 2, it really picks up. They call it growing the beard, but as anyone who can only grow goatee can tell you, that's a very unfair assessment. This is where you're going to see Picard, Riker, Worf, Deanna, Geordi, Data, and Crusher. This is peak Star Trek. Only a couple stinkers, with only one stinker of a character, but he goes with a space pedophile. With the weakest seasons only being the 1st and 7th, you have a pretty good time with this one. Speaking of bad first seasons, Deep Space Nine. This is the darker, older brother of TNG. Taking place entirely on a space station instead of an actual ship, it gets to tell stories a little bit different. This is the show you'll see people say that, oh yeah, this is my favorite. Not TNG, Deep Space Nine. Those guys don't know anything. They're both wrong because Voyager exists. With a rough first season, it does pick up. There's different themes like war, religion, politics. You get to see the darker portions of the Star Trek universe. How things are when you're not in the Federation. You know, dark shit. But it's very good. Everyone will love it. You'll love it. It's great. It's awesome. It's terrific. It's kind of soap opera-y at points, but...
My visit was strictly business. Now, are we going to have dinner together or not?
And if we do, then what?
I don't know. Maybe we could go dancing.
And after that, I suppose you'll expect me to kiss you.
Well, it's possible.
But then who needs dinner? Why don't I just get it over with and kiss you right now?
Well, why don't you?
You'll like it. Just watch it. Voyager is the least liked of the 90s Star Trek, which is totally understandable. It's pretty rough around the edges, especially in the first 3 seasons. You've got a very weak cast. You have another space pedophile. You have Cass. It's worth sticking out for the 2 best episodes of any Star Trek period. That would be Tuvix and Threshold. When 7 and 9 shows up into the show, it does genuinely get better. Not just her character, but the entire show gets better. By far the best captain in all of Star Trek, Janeway, who straight up murders a man because he's fucking weird looking. Great show. Don't let the haters get to you. It's great. You should watch it. You should watch it now. Okay, Enterprise. Aside from having the worst opening theme of any Star Trek ever made, it's also the sexiest.
Apples and oranges. This is an Earth vessel. You're in no position to take command.
As soon as we're through here, I'll contact Ambassador Saval.
So this shit kind of gets a little out of hand the first 2 seasons. The first 2 seasons aren't very good. They're good, but they're not very good. Season 3 and 4, though, that's some primo. Enterprise is the hardest of the shows to get into. But it's worth your time. If you make it to season 3, you will be blessed. And you get Scott Bakula. You get Scott fucking Bakula. Scott Bakula. Okay, so Star Trek Picard. What can I say about Star Trek Picard that hasn't already been said about the breakup of Yugoslavia? Star Trek Discovery. So it's not as bad as Picard, but it's not good. Star Trek Lower Decks. Star Trek Lower Decks is a very, 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 very decent Star Trek show. I'm looking forward to the 2nd season. It actually seems like it's going to be pretty good. Oh, fuck all the movies.